Welcome back to our channel, Our Home in the Forest. I am Caroline and I'm living with my husband Misha and our two little children in Central Portugal. We moved here 1.5 years ago, and today let me show you our autumn garden. It's the 1st of September. We can still harvest a lot. It's becoming quite more autumny right now, even here in Portugal. Last year it was much warmer at this time still. And let me show you what we have improved compared to last year, and what maybe was a fail and what we need to improve for next year. It's the 1st of September. Kids are back in kindergarten, in summer school, and you can actually tell autumn is coming. It is much more fresh in the morning. I guess for many other cultures, nations, this is still summer. We are still reaching 30 degrees during the day, but it's so much more fresh for us here after having had 40 degrees and more. So that right now when we're meeting friends, it's also like, can we have the kids in the pool? Like it's 30, 35, a bit windy. It's a bit fresh today. And also in the morning now, you need a little jacket on top, which is really nice, but it's probably summer for so many other people, and for us it's starting autumn. Let's go into the garden to check what went better or what went worse compared to last year. In terms of tomatoes, it was enough. I have even been drying some. In terms of cucumbers, much better. They were in the shade this time, so none of them really like burned. But they also have less fruit, maybe because of less sun, so it's a win-win, lose-lose situation. But it was also enough cucumbers for us to eat every day. I would have loved to have more watermelons, more pumpkins, so there I need to find a better spot, I believe, next year. I think the pumpkin patch is not ideal for pumpkins. It doesn't have enough sun exposure. I think they can go in a full-on heat and sun. So grapes you already know. Peaches, we will see. The peach had this wrinkly leaf disease, but I see some good fruit. That is still something coming. Figs, just these first figs. I think this autumn we will get some cuttings from our friends to try other figs, other cherries, to plant a few more trees on our property with fruit. Strawberries, I think they didn't have enough water, and then it's just super hot here to really make a lot of strawberries. Now I see more fruit again. Let's see if they are ripening. And I'm looking forward to corn. And we have beans. I think I actually do enjoy beans, so that's also cool. Zucchinis, much less. Maybe this was also due to the watering problem, but I had 4 plants because I thought, well, this will be too much, and now it wasn't that much. I think there's one plant that didn't even give any fruits, only male flowers. So with zucchinis it's so hard to know how much to plant. Also, we can start thinking about our autumn garden. I'm thinking to have a much more productive garden in winter and autumn with some more brassicas. I was really late last year to have brassicas and all kinds of winter vegetables. Somehow my garden this year feels more like a failure. It feels less productive, but I'm not sure if this is kind of true, actually. Maybe it's because we have friends with massive gardens and massive farming, and it feels kind of odd to only have a zucchini every other day and a pumpkin and some cucumbers. But actually, it's feeding us quite well. So the cucumbers are less active, I would say, but they're also burning less than last year. Last year they were in another spot, more exposed to the sun, and now I'm not sure if this is actually a good spot because they have not been suffering in the heat so much, but also maybe they didn't have enough sun, or it was our watering problem. So because I need to think about if we had indeed issues with the garden layout or my non-weeding approach, or if this was because we had a watering issue. Watering issue because we have two dripping systems and they were running at the same time, and they brought less water to this patch of the garden. I'm sometimes thinking it's good to catch some fruits, I think, so that the plant can focus on producing more. Like, and they have tiny spikes. So, and it was the first year of the strawberries. They didn't bring us so many fruits, but a lot of runners. These are our apricots. This is not our pumpkins. Compass from now. And the tomatoes from this week. I always take them when they are blushing red to finish their job on the counter. So the strawberry plants, that's an amazing thing if you didn't know. They produce so many runners. You will never be short on strawberry plants. This will be something I'm doing end of autumn maybe, to take out the runners and redistribute them around the garden. Like here. This is the mother plant, and here is going a runner. One baby, two babies, three baby, another baby. Some people pick them out, take them out. Actually, this is a baby. Wait, this is actually a baby that put already roots, because it's coming from here, you see? Put already roots, has another baby. Yay! So guys, if you are here on that channel, we are talking about low maintenance garden. We will not find here a curated, beautiful oasis garden because we are busy people with two little children, with a farm to run and a business, and we just want to enjoy growing our own food with the lowest effort possible. So that's what we are here for. And that's why, for example, with the strawberries, you see people snipping off the runners to make the plant produce more fruit. You can certainly do that. If you don't need more plants, it's probably the best approach. For us, yeah, well, I lost control. We had baby chickens, we had this, we have this. Things are growing. We actually forgot to water them. So that's where we are at. As long as things are somehow growing, we are happy. Let's catch some beans. Because here's the cucumber patch, and next to it is our corn. So excited for the corn. And the corn is paired with beans. Whatever happened to this corn? Ew. Hello, guys. So this is, as in any plant that you're growing, if you want to have more fruit, you need to regularly harvest. If not, your plant will think it's done for the season and will just bulk, produce seeds, and that's it. This is one very hard to understand what's growing where in these plants. I find that is also true for cucumbers when everything is just green and the fruits that you're supposed to harvest are also green. Oh wow! Okay, this is the bigger seed pods. That's the difference. I want to eat them now like green beans. We will chop them up, and this is the finished one where you collect the beans to cook them. So if you let go all your beans into that stage, into that red stage, this is when your plant will think it's done with production. Okay? That's when they produced enough seed pods and they will be done. And there is our sugar baby watermelon. And she has here a totally dry, how's this? Here, so we will try her. They are super small. I think I will try another kind of watermelon next year. Ah, we need scissors now. So maybe also in the hopes that she makes another baby. So after the cucumbers, corn with beans and watermelon, the other one came over there, we have our zucchinis. I planted 4, but they were less productive than last year. Then we are coming to an aubergine, several peppers, but very little production, could be due to the watering problem. Strawberries as ground cover, and our apple tree. We are thinking about removing this apple tree again. We planted it a year ago, a bit more than a year ago, when we arrived. We got this apple tree and then we planted it here. But actually now we understand it doesn't make sense. It will be too big, it will cast shadow, and that's probably not great for our gardening patch. He will probably move this autumn. And then another thought, because I just said that the aubergine, the peppers, also the chilies, they are not very productive this year. And I was reading that they are actually perennials. Actually, tomatoes are perennials. And as we are not having such a hard winter, I will try to bring them through winter. I am so annoyed by making seedlings and being in time in spring and all this and having an early production. And then I get so disappointed when everybody else has already products and we don't have a greenhouse. So that's my plan. I will keep these, and I hope that especially, for example, the peppers will have peppers and chilies will have a much better production when we keep them as little trees for several years. What do you think? Have you tried to do that? Would be super interesting because we really don't have a tough winter. I'm actually thinking to make some sort of experiment that we put some in pots and put them in our wood workshop and leave some in the ground and cover them maybe with wool for my friend. What do you think? Will they survive? And here we come to all our rows of tomatoes. This doesn't look so great because of our watering issue, the Vincent plant. But there are tomatoes. And we had sunflowers. Sunflowers are so pretty, and with the chickens, they make an extra sense. So I like to have them. And now look at this. We cut the big tops to dry them for the seeds, and they make little babies. Look at this. This is actually better than the sunflower. They were so massive and they were hanging immediately, and now we have here these little bushes with tiny sunflowers. Isn't that so cute? Well, the dry leaves. The same here with, look at kiabu. So I also want to keep them as a perennial probably, because they just make this one stalk and every other day you get a bean. How do I cook with them when I only have one bean every other day? This is my very sad pumpkin patch, and I think it just doesn't have enough sun. One pumpkin, and that's it. Our peach trees are completely crazy and have a lot of fruits, and thin branches. And one branch just broke off a massive peach tree here and fell into my pumpkin patch. My pumpkin patch is already not very productive, has only male flowers, but yeah, I don't want to lose it either way. So let's remove the branch carefully. While removing the branch, I just noticed another small pumpkin. They are suffering a bit from powdery mildew down there, but then it's climbing up here, and there it's okay. So this one, male flowers all the way. And there I got a fruit. We need to keep her. And she's growing up here into the grapes, that's okay. Then this one is growing up all the way, has a pumpkin there, and going there. And here we have this, and let's examine if we also have another fruit. There was a female, and it's broken off. I will probably build something like a little bag to keep the hanging fruits because they're not on the floor. I was thinking, as it becomes more humid into the end of August, September, I didn't like them to be here on the ground because it's not like an open, dry field. So the fruits will be hanging. I will be choosing a much more sun-exposed spot next year, especially now that we are fencing the chickens in summer. I can put them basically wherever I want. So here's some cauliflower that I don't know what they're doing. They were from last season. And the very tiny chili plants. They have some chilies, but I hope next year they will be bigger. And here, another watermelon. He has one watermelon and a cantaloupe. I have no memory planting her, but there she is. I mean, that's basically all my gardening. I have no clue. I have no clue how the physalis ended up there. We have a massive patch of basil. It's a lemon basil. It's magnificent. It smells so good. Between strawberries, like it's a little bit messy. I'm sorry, you see my shadow. No clue what to do with this cabbage thing. Here, let's take some beans. That's a bean that why are they dry? That our child brought from kindergarten and planted it. I'm trying to snip off the seed pods of the basil so it doesn't stop producing leaves. But it is very much into bulking right now. I I just put the beans that my child brought next to the sunflowers to use the sunflowers for them to climb up. And look, I'm just chaos gardening, throwing all the seed pods back. Eventually, only have lemon basil all over my land. Yeah, I let one go to seed. No problem. Beans. We have beans. One more bean. This will be so happy about strawberries. Finally, more than one per person. And the physalis, they're very small. So next year, hopefully. That's our harvest today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you could take something away for yourself from this. If you're having a little struggle with planting or you're unsure, should I not, there will be something growing in your garden. Even if you put in very little effort, because that's how it should be now, if we're not growing food professionally. Being self-sustainable is probably a lie. People have been always depending on a network of other people. Like, these pumpkins are not from me, it's from my friends, our neighbors. And that's what I see happening here a lot. Because, I mean, if you're growing a fruit tree, it probably has much more fruit than you can consume yourself. Then you're knee deep into preservation. Our other neighbor gave us potatoes, and we had a hard time to eat them all before they got bad. Of course, you can cure them, you can do all these things, but will you? Do you have space to keep everything? That's a whole different story about self-sustainability that is not talked about enough. What it means in terms of storage, in terms of time, uh, to preserve everything. Misha is sometimes complaining about the amount of tomatoes, and we have more than we can eat fresh. And last year, nobody has been eating my sauce, so I made all this effort to make a sauce. Now I'm just drying them. I like that better. Same with strawberries. Yeah, maybe a strawberry jam would be nice, but good to eat. And we have a good amount to snack every once in a while. Next year, we have more cucumbers. This will be enough for the next 2, 3 days, and then we have more watermelons. I actually like this size, maybe a bit bigger, that you can eat it directly and it's done. And maybe I just need more plants to have more watermelon every day. Yeah, I think that's what you can take away from here. You can just garden for fun and for your own consumption. Preservation is a whole different story. I made some jams. If you have fruit trees, you will need to make jams or freeze because everything ripens at the exact same time. And then you have a tree full of apples, a tree full of peaches. What do you do with them? The peaches, actually, this will be probably its own video. I loved last year to make candy peaches and a peach jam. Maybe a peach cobbler. What else shall we do with peaches when it's time for the peaches to be ripe? Tell me. And thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful time. See you next week. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing, obviously. Tell the algorithm that this is something that you want to watch, and thank you. Bye bye.